Alright. My second stream of the day, just because this repair kind of makes me angry and I want to talk about it. Because this irritated me. You don't clean boards in kerosene or diesel fuel. It doesn't. Yeah, don't do it. We're just getting this ready, and then we're gonna get started here. Alright, we already have people in the chat. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to be going over this A2159. It's a 2019 13-inch MacBook Pro with Touch Bar, 2 Thunderbolt ports, that somebody cleaned in either kerosene or diesel fuel. I don't know which one. It's one or the other. Maybe it's jet fuel. I don't know. But it has the heavy smell of either kerosene, diesel, or jet fuel. Okay, if you've been around diesel engines, if you've worked on diesel engines, if you worked on jet engines, you know what kerosene smells like. It's very distinctive. This was in kerosene before, okay? And let's look at the board, and we can see all the adhesive is stripped off, which is what it does. It's kind of like a solvent, and that's what it does. So we have a board here. Okay, we have some flux there too that I just noticed. We have all our stickers that are melted, okay? The reason why is it will melt plastic like that. It can be kind of harsh. Maybe they cleaned it in gasoline. I don't know. It smells more like kerosene or diesel to me. But it was cleaned in something, okay? And I'm willing to bet another repair shop did this. My coworker swears by please don't clean boards in gasoline, okay? Please, gasoline, any petroleum product does not belong on a PCB, okay? It just stripped the adhesive off of this, okay? The whole board has this residue on it, okay? The plastics are kind of degraded. It may be gasoline. It may very well be gasoline, but I kind of think it doesn't have a gasoline type odor. I don't see any visible liquid damage or any previous corroded components to any degree, which is really weird on why someone would clean it with something like this. It looks to be, and you know what, another thing I noticed is you see this, gasoline won't leave oil residue like this. Okay, gasoline won't do this. This was either kerosene or diesel fuel that would do this, okay? Because there's an oily substance on the board. And gasoline typically evaporates very quickly, and it won't leave anything like that. It's more like it's like gasoline's like acetone. It evaporates very quick. So I can't fathom why someone would do this, because there's no visible signs of any reason why you would want to scrub this board. It's oily. It's terrible. So we're going to try and figure out what's really wrong with this. Any oxidation I see and stuff isn't from corrosion. It's literally from being scrubbed like this. I mean, this is bad. Like the common areas we typically see hit, it's clean. There's no sign of liquid here. There's no sign that water's ever been here. These capacitors commonly get hit. There's nothing here. So I don't really know why someone would do this. I really, really don't know. But we're going to try and figure out what's actually wrong with this and go from there. So let's go ahead and plug in our USB-C amp meter and let's see what's what. I worked on that last. It's kerosene, says Anthony. Ultrasonic first? No. Yeah, please just don't use kerosene or any gasoline, kerosene, anything like that. Just no. No, no, no. Period. If you want something to clean a board with and you want to mess with flammable liquid, use something like 99% isopropyl alcohol, even acetone. Okay, probably not acetone because it's a little bit harsh. I wouldn't recommend doing that on putting acetone over a whole board. It's going to melt all the labels and plastic parts if there's any. Nylon is safe, but yeah, I just wouldn't. 99% isopropanol. If you want to scrub a board, I don't recommend scrubbing boards with toothbrushes. Use an ultrasonic cleaner. Anyway, what are we getting? What are we getting here? 5 volt 0.01. Another one. This is the second one today. And nothing on this port. I need to trim my nails. My nails are freaking disgusting. Anyway. I have a new connector here. Plug this in. Five volts, 0.03. Alright, differential diagnosis for this is missing PP3V3 G3H RTC, missing PP bus G3 hot, in DFU mode, anything like that. Let's go ahead and measure what PP bus voltage is. So PP bus voltage is going to be right over here. I'm going to switch to my front cam so you can see. There we go. Can you guys see that? Right here. Alright, PP bus is, let's see, 0.077. Is this going to be another PP bus short? I don't know. Hopefully, because I'm tired. I want to fix this. But 0.77. That's not really present. I guess we need to do this so you guys can still see there's a short, if there is a short. So I'm going to measure for a short now. And I have 1 ohm to ground. Now, 1 ohm to ground, that could be a multitude of things. That could be a CPU problems, anything like that. Let's see, what is resistance to ground on CPU? 3 ohms. It's not that. 3 ohms, okay. I want to see if those values match. If they match, it's probably a dead CPU, but it's not. So let's go ahead and inject some voltage. I can't fathom why someone would just clean this. It's going to be when on-screen multimeter. I don't know, because the on-screen multimeters out there kind of suck, and I'd rather have something like my Fluke 287 that doesn't suck and that works good rather than having an on-screen multimeter. So carrying on, let's go back to this. There's our PP bus fuse here. And it looks like there's some corrosion here. Okay, so, looking closer right here, I do see some signs that there was corrosion on the trackpad connector. But it's hard to say if this is corrosion or it's just destroyed from scrubbing with kerosene, gasoline, or diesel fuel. It's probably was corroded, and that probably what possessed a brain-dead individual to do this, but anyway. Let's continue. We're going to inject 1.3 volts, just like we did earlier, into PP bus G3 hot, and we're going to see what burns. And then we're going to fix whatever burns, and hope that whatever burns isn't our processor. The processor burning would be sad. So maybe they cleaned it in some type of acidic cleaner, and that's why it's corroded. You never know. All I know, this is getting a bath in the ultrasonic. Come on, get hot iron. I know, you're cold. I left you alone for like 2 hours while I had dinner. Not even 2 hours, 30 minutes. This is definitely, okay, I'm smelling the residue. You could smell the whatever's on this board burning off. This is definitely petroleum. It smells like burnt. If you've ever smelled like oil smoke, it smells like oil smoke. It smells like burning motor oil. So this, yeah. Very, very pronounced, strong. That makes me think this was diesel. Because kerosene has, I mean, it could be, it's either kerosene or diesel. I've said that, but it's not gasoline. Gasoline won't smell like that burning. Come on, get down there. There we go. Caleb, what do you think? It smells like burning oil. So kerosene or diesel? What do you think? Alright, so we're going to find this short in the same method we used earlier. I'm going to put my clamp on there. I would normally be using my thermal camera, but it's not. I don't have the software on this computer yet. It's not turpentine. It is definitely not turpentine. No, it is very petroleum-like. Ow! I just got burned. And that is why you don't do this. That's why you use your thermal camera. And I could see this chip is burning. It is boiling. That actually burned pretty good. That woke me up. Yeah, that was a nice little burn. That was a nice little burn indeed. And what are the chances that we get 2 of these shorted in one day, both on stream? Same chip, same circuit, different board. Shorted. Anyway, I burned my hand. That was pretty hot. But we found our short. And I could have just, like, I don't know, downloaded the software on this computer, and that would have solved our entire problem of getting burned. But, no. What are you going to do? Anyway, this was the whole problem. It was never needed to be cleaned or whatever. Who knows what this person was thinking. They probably weren't. Yeah, you can. That is Heaven Benchmark running in the background. That's funny. Yeah, it's running on a MacBook right now. Stress testing. These tweezers are not going to cut it. Okay, the reason why this was shorted is because it had no balls under it. And it was improperly soldered. This chip had no balls under it, so it was bridged underneath. So somebody screwed with this. Somebody messed with this. Yeah, that chip had no balls underneath. That's why it was shorted. It was bridged underneath. Somebody just put solder down and just smacked it to the board. You could pour alcohol on it, but I don't like to. AOE test is more accurate and less messy. It's all good. I get to bill extra for this because it was screwed up with by an idiot that doesn't know what they're doing. Okay, here's the thing that bothers me, is there is so much information out there from myself, from Lewis, from Jessa, from Paul Daniels, from all these other people that show you how to do things right. There's so much information out there. It's not like it's a field that has no information. So when you get something, when you see somebody do something like this, it is very disheartening because why am I doing videos? Why am I showing people how to fix it when you're just going to clean something in diesel fuel and just slap chip onto the board without reballing it? It's aggravating because there's no excuse for it. There's so much good information out there from so many different people that there's no excuse to do something like this. So yeah, I mean, this is why this industry kind of pisses me off sometimes, is you'll tell something in, like, let's say cell phone repair shop talk, you'll say something and so people just argue it. Oh no, my friend says this is a good idea. No, your friend is wrong. And then people blindly just follow and assume it's, the right way to do it, and it's not. So, but yeah, there's no excuse for something like this. All right. So yeah, rant over. Let's find a chip. No rehotting CPU. No rehotting CPU. Sorry. Stolen. Here's one. This one looks nice. Okay. Let's pull it from our donor. We're going to use the same method we did earlier. Nice, easy, and quick. Yeah, so that's another thing I heard about from Briz is I'm not going to say it because I don't want trouble in the groups, but there's a very widely renowned technician and training group that says, oh no, you don't need thermal paste on iPhones. Okay. For data recovery, yeah, whatever. Okay, but for use of the phone, there will be if you were to benchmark two phones, if you had, let's say, iPhone 12 with no thermal paste on the CPU and an iPhone 12 with thermal paste on the CPU, you will notice that the one with thermal paste will benchmark a lot higher. It'll have a lot more CPU performance than the phone with no thermal paste because the heat needs somewhere to go. Even in an iPhone, the chips do get hot. The CPU does get hot. It does produce heat. Even though it's only a 2 to 5 watt TDP, whatever it still gets hot. It still needs somewhere for that heat to go. And without that, it's going to throttle. The temperature limits are set really low in iPhones because you don't want your phone getting too hot and burning you. So you're going to hit that limit a lot faster with no thermal paste. On the sandwich boards, okay, from I should say this, the sandwich boards probably more so than the boards with just the shield because the shield doesn't do too much except it does kind of pull it into ground a bit. But as far as the sandwich boards, they use that bottom board, and boards are actually a very good heatsink. There's a lot of copper in boards. They use that bottom board to pull heat away from the CPU, and it needs that thermal mass. If you do not have that thermal mass there, it is not going to hit peak performance. So, yeah, just there's a reason why it was there from the factory. Put it back if you can, So, is that why you're supposed to leave the shields off? Because there's no thermal paste? No, shields are there for EMI protection. I don't care too much about shields. I leave shields off all the time as well. It doesn't really make too much of a difference. If a shield is being used as a heatsink, though, then yeah, I would put it back. If it's not, then no. If it's data recovery, I could care less. If it's data recovery, do not worry about putting thermal paste back on a phone. Do not worry about putting shields back on a phone. You're done. Get data, you're done. It doesn't matter. But if it's for use, then yeah, you should care about the quality of your work, the longevity that's going into it, I don't know. It's just me. I'm different. Maybe I'm wired differently. Maybe I have better work ethic. I don't know. I like doing a job the right way. I don't want to cut corners like that and, But anyway. Okay, and now which chip is our new one? Which one is our old one? Which is our new one? I got them mixed up. Oh. What in the world? What is this? What is this? This is the original chip. What were they doing? Scraping? Scraping on the silicon? No wonder this is shorted. What in the actual hell? What is this? What in the world is this? This is what was shorting right here. You don't solder onto the silicon. Look at that nonsense. What is this? Alright, and here's our donor chip. It's still bridged, but it's not messed up like that. Yeah, that's reinforcing my decision on something. Carrying on. Forgetting the atrocities that I've just witnessed. Get them out of my head. Pretend I didn't see it. Carry on with life. So it's best when you see something like that, just pretend, and that's it. Briz donated $5. Briz, you've given me enough money over the course of the past few days for stuff that you've gotten fixed. Big fan of the channel, been doing board repair for about 3 years now, still learning every day. Just want to say thank you for all your hard work. It has helped. Very appreciated, Peyton. Glad you like the channel. Okay. Caleb says Tim literally has to fix everyone's stupidity. Yep. That is literally my job, stupidity manager. Briz is donating more. I'm not gonna complain. I'm not gonna complain. Yeah, I'm not gonna complain about somebody giving me money. Thank you, Briz. Much appreciated. And 265 and low airflow, like 5 to 7 liters per minute. Perfect every time. And I think this goes... Yeah, we really don't get a lot of stuff back. If anything that we do get back, it's almost always like something else totally unrelated or, you know, just Apple nonsense. And I try and educate people over mistakes that I've made that have caused stuff to come back, and people don't listen. And then they have to learn the hard way. For example, strips on iMacs. Adhesive strips on iMacs, right? So most of these strips out there are garbage, and they will result in the screen falling off. And yeah. Try telling that to people in cell phone repair shop talk. So yeah, for iMacs, we recommend Tesla tape. Now, for some reason, people have this grudge against Tesla saying, oh, it's almost impossible to open the next time. And that is not true. I mean, we'll get iMacs in that we do something, you know, and then comes back, let's say SSD takes a dump or whatever. Or we have to pull the SSD out for some weird reason. Tessa has never been a problem to remove, ever. So, yeah, I don't know why people were so against that. But, yeah, I recommend Tessa tape for iMacs. All the quote-unquote original adhesive strips for iMacs are not original. They're garbage. And we've used them a couple times, and almost every time the screen falls off. And, yeah, screen falls off iMac. Customer not happy. That's down there. The phone group is a toilet, says Peter. Yes, yes it is. Alright, we're just letting this cool. Should be cool enough now. And let's see if we get a fire or if we get 20 volts. Ah, 20 volts, 0.09, 0.06. Come on, go up. 0.19. What? Oh, yeah, that's right. There was screwery around the USB port, too. That's probably why one port's not working right. Anyway, going on. This is for data recovery, by the way, just so you know. So everybody knows in chat, this is data recovery. If you clean your board in diesel, I'm not fixing this for full function. I'm fixing this to get your information back. No other guarantees if you clean it in diesel. Do not clean your board in diesel fuel. Diesel fuel belongs in a fuel tank of a diesel-powered vehicle, not on your MacBook. Keep it away from your MacBook. Doesn't belong there. Period. End of day. What times do you normally live stream? I normally live stream whenever I feel up to it. Like, for example, today, I didn't really want to edit video, so I decided to live stream. Anyway, we're getting 0.6 volts on vCore, which means it's working. I'm going to go ahead and get the enclosure, and we're going to test this, see if it boots. And then it's going to go in the ultrasonic. Get the heater back on this thing. It's at 51. I like to see around 60. And then this is in the pile for Tuesday. When Caleb comes to reassemble it, unless I feel like reassembling it tomorrow, but I doubt I will. That's nice dynamic current right there, which typically means our CPU is doing stuff. This thing is... Don't tell me you cleaned in here with diesel. Yep, you cleaned in here with diesel, and you broke the trackpad connector, or the trackpad cable. So we will need a new trackpad cable, because the trackpad cable is broken. The Touch ID is unplugged. Caleb, can you do me a favor? If you're in chat still, can you note the ticket on this? You know exactly which one it is. That it needs a trackpad cable. It's getting the previous repair attempt fee and billed for trackpad cable as well. I probably shouldn't discuss that on stream, but it's just easier than that. But cleaned in diesel, amazing. Let's see, let's go back to my front camera. I'm just putting the board back in here. I know I'm a bit cynical when it comes to this, and you know what, it's warranted. I'm not going to pretend it's not warranted. Doing stuff like this is not okay, and you need to know that. Yeah, it might be harsh. Yeah, I might come off like a jerk, but at the end of the day, you know what? No. Okay, so I don't want, given the history of this, I just want the screen and the USB. That's all. It needs a new trackpad cable. The trackpad cable is demolished. And pretty much as long as I can get this booted in and get into target disk mode to clone this, we're good. Okay. I don't specialize in just one market though. I'm most familiar with game consoles as far as motherboard repairs. Yeah, I remember when I started my store, I would work on PS4s and stuff for a local shop, doing HDMI ports all day, and they're outsourced obviously, but you know, I don't miss it. I don't miss PS4 HDMI ports doing those. They suck. Apple logo. Needs ultrasonic and then it's done. This one's going to be picky because the battery isn't connected and a bunch of other stuff isn't connected. So these almost, I'll just let it be, see what it does. But these new models like this typically don't like to boot when there's a bunch of stuff unplugged like that. HDMI are so profitable, yeah, but they're a pain. Sleep sounds nice, Tony Tone. I wish I could do that. And it's just sitting here. Okay, let's plug in the battery. No, I came in because I have to do shipping because a large amount of people decided to pay their invoices after hours, and generally I like to ship stuff and get it out of here the same day, or the next day, the following day. The thing about game consoles, the problem that I had with, you know, it's always the customer needs it, it needs it ASAP, ASAP. Everybody wants it back like that, like in an instant. And sorry, you know, like there's a lot of times we have to prioritize stuff over other stuff. Like, you know, when we have urgent data recovery cases, like we sometimes, okay, if we have a queue, put it this way, if we have a queue of like urgent data recovery cases, those cases get pushed ahead of the stuff that's not very important. And it's just how it goes. It's just like, it's like triage. It's like if you go to the emergency room with a stubbed toe. Well, if you go to the emergency room with a stubbed toe, you're not going to be seen before the person that's dying of a heart attack is being seen. Just like how if, let's say we have a queue of new cases, urgent data recovery cases, rush cases, and then we have like a pile of no-fix stuff that needs to be put back together. Well, the stuff that's already been deemed no-fix, there's going to be a queue, and yeah, sometimes new stuff will get prioritized over, you know, stuff that's you know, already no-fix waiting to be reassembled because it's done. It's not, you know, it's not fixable. And yeah, that kind of stuff isn't as important as, let's say, something, you know, critical data or something along those lines. So it's still going to give me a hard time about booting, I think. These really want everything plugged in. What I can tell you is that the Apple logo means the SSD is initialized on these. And as the battery, yeah, the battery's all plugged in. It may want the trackpad plugged in because the trackpad is pretty important and it's destroyed. Yeah, let's just give it. I'm just gonna give it a minute and see what it does, and go from there. Yeah, these are picky. No, I don't want to deal with consoles, Briz. Yeah, it's going to attract a customer base that locally here I don't really want, and they don't really want to pay, so. Give me something, MacBook. I need something. Alright, if I unplug it and it shuts off, this is a battery problem. Nope. Interesting. Okay. What could you be? I don't know, but you've been cleaned in diesel or kerosene, so. This is not a US keyboard either. Okay. So yeah, these get really, really picky. I want to show you guys that it boots. And I want to know it boots too. Yeah, so that's the thing. Like the MacBook customers around here, they're rude. They're well, I shouldn't say all of them, but a lot of them are very rude. Like we'll call someone to let them know their stuff is ready, and they'll just pick up the phone, hear who you are, and just hang up right away. Then they show up 10 minutes later and be like, "Oh, whoa, is it ready?" And it's like, "No, we called you to get a quote or something like that." And you know, it's a pain to deal with. Like there's no need to be that rude, and it gets old. Like just the other day, someone did that to Caleb. Like called to say your computer's ready. Pick it up. Hi, this is Caleb from TCRI Circuit. Click. Shows up later in the day. It's like what? Why? Like what? What? Why do you have that behavior? It makes no sense. Okay. Gotta fix this. Thank you for the $2, Tony Tone. Even though I don't approve of you calling Carbon Black Magic Flux, thank you for the $2. Alright, so this is our trackpad area. I want to skim over our CPU area too to see if there's any nonsense. I don't think there will be. Okay. I think it wants a trackpad plugged in. What I've found is like people want there's like those gaming addicts that really, 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 really need their games, or else they get pretty angry. When we did Razer laptop repair, briefly, that's what happened. Those people were crazy. They were nutcases. Somebody that I know that used to do it would get like bomb threats and death threats if their laptop wasn't fixed in a certain yeah, that's why it kind of puts me off from crazy gamers like that. Clean this up. I have no idea how they get paid or what they do or what goes on in their heads, but I know it's not pleasant. That's all. Alright, that was NC559 V3. I want to try V2 to see how well it does on bridge clearing. These pins have such a high thermal mass that it makes it kind of hard. I'm pretty sure those bridges can just chill right there. What's worse, the V2? Yeah, V2 isn't as good as V3. I don't know. They're both flux. I'm too tired to determine which one is better right now. I want to see a booted machine. Yeah, those bridges are totally fine staying there. I fixed what I needed to fix here. So, I'm done. These pins need a little... Yeah, those bridges there, I'm just going to leave them be. They are of no concern to me. Now, the bridges are just going to chill there because that's all ground and I don't care about that. They're literally the same line. Yeah, why torture myself? I would have to get my wick to clear these guys. And I don't want to get my wick right now. So we're going to let them be. We're going to let them be bridges. We're going to let them just be there and bridge to their heart's desire. Alright, I gotta hunt down a trackpad cable. Not hunt down, like literally walk over to the where the trackpad cables are and get a trackpad cable. And we're gonna install it. I really want to get as much flux out of this connector as I can. Still a little bit in there. Whatever, that can just be there. Let's go ahead and switch over to this camera. And clean up my mat a little bit. Need paper towels. Need paper towels to be closer to my desk. Okay. I can imagine you in camo gear crawling across your shop trying to find the trackpad cable. That is very bizarre. And this is the kind of device that I feel like there's going to be a surprise lurking under the trackpad. Alright. There's oily whatever was on the board under the trackpad too. I wonder... No, this was worked on. I was gonna say, I wonder if it was something like kerosene or diesel spilled, but no. It was worked on, it was clean. There's like coffee under here with oily whatever was on there. So yeah. I hate these washers on these trackpads. I really hate them with a passion. They're like thinner than air. Any little vibration, they jump out of place. Once you get a couple screws in them, it's not so bad, but it's getting to that point. There. I usually just get screws in the corners and then you're good. Alignment is also critical on these to align for the right feel, and it's kind of a pain to they're kind of a pain to align perfectly. Okay. What time is it? 10:02. Christian is here. Hello, Christian. How are you? Ultimately, I don't really care if it wants to hang at the Apple logo from something else wrong with it. If it can get into target disk mode, I'm golden. I'm set. That's all I need. So, if I get into target disk, that's a success. This is why stuff that's screwed with is so hard to work on, because you don't know what was done, you don't know the history, you don't know the story. It just sucks to work on generally. No late night karaoke, that is not my thing. No. Not my thing. And the person playing loud music outside my store is back. Even when I park sideways, they purposely wouldn't park there. And they're back outside. Lovely. No trespassing signs. You don't see the trespassing signs, nor do you care. You don't care that the cops will come. You sit outside. We have this really good security system called Deep Sentinel. I highly, highly recommend it if you have a business or anything like that. It's well worth the money. My bench setup is okay. It's okay. You know, we kind of mirrored them side by side. I'm gonna do a PRAM too if I can. Command Option PR. The trackpad doesn't feel right. There, that's PRAM. The actuator isn't right, I could tell you, because it's corroded. There's liquid on it. But I did get a chime. Give me a progress bar. So I can go home. There we go. So, that's that. Our trackpad actually does work. And this should be good to go. So it just needs the trackpad plugged in. So good to know. That's what it was complaining about. One of the trackpad plugged in. And that's that. That's done. Saved from kerosene person. Anyway, that's it for today. Tonight, I need to go home. I'm tired. It's 10 o'clock at night. By the way, if you ever need help shipping stuff, let me know. Yes, that would be awesome. When are you available to ship? Don't you have your own store, though? But anyway, this is fixed. I'll just hang out for just a brief second while I check my messages here in Discord. I'm streaming on an M1 MacBook M1 Pro MacBook right now. I'm pretty impressed with the thermals this thing is able to take and run at. It seems to run pretty well. Let's see what our temperature's at. I'm gonna put in my Yeah, we're sitting at 67 Celsius right now on the CPU. That's really good. My ThinkPad would be pegged over 100, so. All right. Does the frame really drop? Was the frames dropping? Looks like okay. I'm sitting here at 9.2% CPU usage on the stream. 0 drop frames. I don't think this is dropping frames. I think that's your internet. Yeah, this thing is actually handling it pretty well. So